And tonight on CBS News.
In a shocking development, the federal government says being broke is allowed, but if you're broke and glowing, you are officially now a suspect.
You can't be glowing more than your financial status. Look your problem.
Producers have confirmed next season of Love Island will merge with the Hunger Games. Only one couple will survive the new format. Everyone else dies.
Senator Buck Nutley has unveiled his Big Girthy bill, a new proposal meant to rival the Big Beautiful bill. But does size really matter?
The shocking trend of Labubu violation continues as more and more people are finding their dolls' holes stretched wide open and reeking of shame.
If you thought Bigfoot was bad, wait till you meet his gooey cousin. A kumsquatch was just spotted in Dongwood National Forest.
Did you know IKEA has released a home glory hole kit called the Fuke Hole? It includes pre-drilled panels, mounting brackets, and a stain-proof finish. We begin with breaking news out of Massachusetts, where residents are reeling from what scientists are calling a cum-comet impact.
Officials are asking everyone to stay indoors and to wear N95 masks in case of cum aerolization.
We have breaking news. A laser-guided ship missile has just been launched from Rectomopolis, reportedly targeting Taintsylvania.
We're live from the scene where a laser-guided ship missile launched from Rectomopolis has struck Taintsylvania.
This just in, a pubnadal blankets St. Louis in a thick bush this evening.
Downtown is completely covered in pubic hair, causing highways to close out of caution.
It's coming right for us. We need to get out of here now. Oh my God, it's taking the houses.
A massive gizzard has buried Kamlambus in 2 feet of dongload. Locals blame the lack of preparation on Mayor Linda P. Slurp.
The city of Columbus is reeling today after an unprecedented event. What officials are calling a gizzard has left downtown streets. Customs officials at Orbital Port 69 have seized over 420 stolen jork blades, many still warm and dripping. A magnitude 6.9 queefquake rattled Clamlip Valley this morning, releasing a torrent of pussy farts. The children's reading session of This Little Piggy Got Pegged has been cancelled, with parents saying the book is too anatomically detailed for kids.
Lawmakers remain deadlocked on the Big Beautiful bill, with some saying $10 billion more is needed for fleshlights and robo-cooters for dudes on dry spells.
Los Angeles, because she served her fried chicken instead of a quinoa salad. Megan Mayonnaise went to the restaurant called The Last Supper, where she claims she was flabbergasted that they would serve her fried chicken when she in fact ordered a quinoa salad. Ms. Mayonnaise said waitress Sharkeisha Trinity knowingly gave her fried chicken, although Ms. Mayonnaise pleaded that she didn't want to eat any urban food. We have Ms. Mayonnaise along with her attorney, Roger Banger. Can you explain how you were feeling, Ms. Mayonnaise?
I told Sharkeisha Trinity 300 times, let me speak with your manager. And she just kept twerking, sticking her tongue out and laughing at me.
We have exclusive CCTV footage from the restaurant of Miss Mayonnaise and Sharkeisha's fried chicken confrontation. Miss Mayonnaise is suing Sharkeisha Trinity for everything she got, which is 3 deadbeat fathers and $100 in unpaid child support.
We need your $80,000 down payment now.
Can I do 6 child support checks, 1 EBT card, 10 Section 8 credits, and 2 Medicaid payments?
We take it all.
back to White News Network. I'm your host, Kimberly Kumquat. Today, the BFI released documents that claim no special files exist from that one famous island. Wink, wink. BFI director said, quote unquote, although you've seen plenty of known people at that island, no American people, you were just seeing shit. The BFI office also released perfectly edited 24-hour surveillance footage of that jail cell where the main guy in charge was being held. At this point, these guys are playing in our face. Most of you are too blind to see it.
Welcome back, folks, to the White News Network. I'm your host, Tom Blandley, and tonight a white woman is leaving her husband after trying a YN. HOA President Skylar White told WNN she is filing for divorce because, quote unquote, after trying a YN, you never go back. Her husband, Kevin White, owner of Proud Boys Country Club, says he is devastated by the news and that it is, quote unquote, total malarkey. The divorce hearing is set for July 13th at Cornbread District Family Court. If Mrs. White wins, she will be entitled to half of his shit that she never worked for. Next up, rock star Roger Bang-Her has already impregnated 3 women on his Fuckfest tour. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Want to do some totally unnecessary shit like mountain jump with a fly suit on? Then head over to whitepeopleshit.com.
Whitepeopleshit.com.
Swim with sharks, it's a blast. Make memories that last.
Whitepeopleshit.com.
All right. Let's do some news. Yo, what up, y'all? In the chat, man. This Monday, we back at it. Kwame Kaiju first in the building. Salute, Playboy. Perfect square. Okay, you responded to the poll. You said it's a toss-up. They're working little schemes for the midterms. I see that, but we're going to cover a little bit of that tonight because it looked like Trump and the Republicans, at least in Texas, might have been playing four-dimensional chess on them. And the Democrats are flipping out, looking like Trump might flip 5 seats from blue to red. And Jasmine Crockett might actually lose her seat. Let's see what it do. What up, Lloyd Lovesmith? Salute to Kwame Kaiju with the $5 super chat, supporting the stream off the gate. I appreciate you, sir. And you know what? I got a new drop.
Off by a star.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Man, fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit.
Yes, sir. And perfect square. I see you, Playboy. You said I put a little something in the collection plate. He won a life. Chris, he won a lifetime supply of mayo. Thank you for the Cash App, good sir. And this one is for you as well.
We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. And fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. And fuck all you. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. And fuck all you hoes.
All right, but let's get to it. It's starting out to be a pretty good week. We're going to start out with my boy Jesse Waters. I like Jesse over at Fox. He's been doing this for a minute. His commentary be straight down the middle. He's up to date, and he is funny and witty. So let's do this news montage. But in particular, we're going to be talking about the Democrats running from Texas, and arrest warrants might be being sent out because they're not showing up for this gerrymandering redistricting vote. And I love it because I think Trump and Vance got their hand in this because, as you know, Vance was in Congress, so he knows how to play the game.
The Messiah told Democrats to toughen up. And what did they do? They ran away.
If you're seeing this video, my Democratic colleagues and I have just left our beloved state to break quorum and stop Trump's redistricting power grab.
It is 2025.
Yo, what up, Aaron? All right, respect. I'm glad you like the mixtapes in the member section. We're gonna be playing some more of them during the week. And thank you for the super thanks that you dropped. On one of the broadcasts. Appreciate you. Hope you're enjoying the membership, man. It's tons of content back there. She says, good evening. I'll be listening in the background. I hope your week's off to a great start, everyone. All right. Look at the channel growing. Yeah, you heard about that? Yo, what up with you? No news? I see you in the building, Playboy. She said, yes, sir. Yeah, the beats are great. Yeah, we sweeping the midterms 4-0. Yo, it's starting to look like that. Let's not get overzealous. I will say this, though. You know how we did Stacey Abrams. You know how we did Tiffany Cross. You know how we did Kamala. Black Manosphere is starting to look undefeated. And we set our sights on Jasmine Crockett months ago. And my, oh my, look how it's playing out. It's looking shaky for, but let's get to it. So this is the fiasco in Texas with the redistricting. And peep the optics of this. These Democrats are basically leaving their jobs, not doing their jobs, not doing the work of the people. They're fleeing to Chicago because they are upset about the redistricting and the gerrymandering. So they're fleeing to Illinois. You know what's so funny about Illinois? Illinois and Chicago in particular are the kings of gerrymandering and redistricting. And they're leaving on a private jet. These Dems got to go.
We are breaking quorum.
It's time to keep making good trouble. Thank you all for your prayers. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to speak the truth of power. Doing
Look, I always got the goofy Democratic Negro. Always. Show me a black male Democratic Negro, and I'll show you a goofy.
everything it takes to save and protect our democracy. We didn't start this fight. Donald Trump started it. But you see me? Look at here.
Hi. Democrats in Texas fled their state yesterday because they claim Trump's going to steal the midterms. They had a private jet pick them up in Austin. The charter is an E-170 with leather seating and runs about 15 grand an hour. Who paid for it? We don't know. But we do know where it went. Illinois. Governor J.B. Back Ribs Pritzker gave them a big old bear hug in Chicago and declared it.
Yo, did he just call him Governor Baby Back Ribs? Pritzker. Yo, that's funny as hell. I just peeped that. Look at old boy's neck, cuz. Look at his neck. And his chin. He got a butt chin.
A sanctuary city for flea baggers. JB Back's giving them logistical support. Not sure what that means, but sources say free hotel rooms and meals. The Texas refugees say they had to run because Republicans wouldn't listen.
We really didn't have a choice.
Yo, what up with you, Universal Black? You my crypto guy, right? You, D13 and Quiet Storm. I got a Bitcoin segment for you tonight, so stick around.
We tried to negotiate Republicans. We tried to talk to them. We tried to reason with them. We tried to tell them that the public is very angry at what they're doing, and they simply wouldn't listen.
This smells like a vacation. Texas is hot in August, high 90s all week. With humidity, it feels like 100. So they hop on a plane and check into a Hyatt in Chicago. We were in Chicago last August for the convention. It is beautiful. Nice breeze comes off the lake. They're not working. They're just sitting around doing CNN hits. One guy says he's the victim.
As a state representative, I get paid about $600 a month before taxes. And so that's not much to live off of. And so many of my colleagues, including myself, we have day jobs that help us pay the bills. And by breaking quorum, we are leaving those day jobs behind. We are sacrificing the income that we need to make ends meet.
Like Kanye said, how you going to be mad on vacation?
What, Jesse? Look at Jesse trying to be hip. Dropping Kanye bars. That's from Abound. How you going to be mad on vacation? Okay, Jesse.
Over 50 Democrats quit their jobs, left their friends, voters, family behind to go glamping at Fort JB Back. They're acting like they were drafted.
This is a war.
Wait, you said stop the cap. That's a good one, Perfect Square. I need to load up my stop the cap drop. I'm going to do that. Good call. I'm going to load that up. I'm going to load up my stop the cap drop.
We are at war. And that's why the gloves are off. And I say, bring it on.
Texas is redistricting, so Democrats might lose a few congressional seats. Doesn't sound like war to me. Shooting Trump and arresting him, that was a lot more warlike. And did Trump run away? No. If Texas is a war zone, why are Democrats abandoning their brothers and sisters? Texas isn't actually a war zone. Democrats just ran out of the state house and won't do their jobs, so now no one in the state house can do their job. Texas Governor Greg Abbott's been riding their bumpers, told them to get back to work or else.
The reports are these legislators have been both, they sought money and they offered money to skip the vote, to leave the legislature, to...
And yo, don't think it's missed on me. Yo, you remember Crockett called the governor, Adams, Governor Hot Wheels. Remember that? So they doing this redistricting, so it's not missed on me that they might have purposely redistrict her out of a seat.
Take a legislative act. That would be bribery. They face a possibility of facing bribery charges, which is a second-degree felony in the state of Texas. There's one way to cure that, and that is if they get back to the state of Texas and make quorum today at a hearing that we have at 3 o'clock.
Democrats had until 3 to show, and they didn't. So Governor Abbott's sending out a posse to arrest them for dereliction of duty and drag them back to the Capitol. They told us no one is above the law. And if they resist, the posse is going to hand them to Homan, and they'll wind up in El Salvador with the Maryland dad. Jazzy Crockett, who fled D.C. during the pandemic with a cohort of fleabaggers because Republicans were about to pass voter ID, may actually lose her seat to redistricting. And guess who she blames?
Because the Supreme Court has paved the way for half the stuff that we see that's going on. Listen, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes, he is. A part of me feels
what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But I'd also like to keep Crockett in Congress because she's such a delicious foil. And so what if Texas is redistricting? So what? Their state constitution gives them the legal right to. Democrats have been trying to redistrict Texas by letting millions of migrants break in. They've been trying to turn
facts. This is part of that's the fundamental thing. They are pissed that they're finally being beat at their own game. They were doing all this changing the census numbers with the sanctuary states and sending in all of the immigrants. They're the kings of redistricting and gerrymandering and filibustering, not mind you. They're the ones that started lawfare and what have you. And during the lead up actually to Trump's November election, the premise was being floated continuously that the lawfare being enacted and the underhanded political tactics with regard to population and census and influencing the outcome of the vote by the Democrats, that they were going to set a nasty precedent by doing that, and that once the Republicans got in power, like the pendulum would swing back the other way. And there's some truth to that. I think what's happening now, though, is Trump and his administration and all the people he's put in place have learned from the lawfare, and they've basically refined it. They've actually taken all of the Democrats' tactics, they've refined them, they've streamlined them, and they've siphoned them through the confines of the law. And it's been full-on asymmetric warfare ever since. And because they've siphoned it through the confines of the law, the Democrats are on the back foot because there's nothing that they can do, because basically the Republicans are coloring within the lines, and they're basically handing them their heads.
Texas blue illegally. Both parties gerrymander a little bit. But look at the state where Democrats fled to, the gerrymandering capital of the world, Illinois. They just play connect the dots with blue cities. That map looks like Jesse Jr. drew it. That one district, the squiggly one down there, the blue one, that looks like an earthworm on LSD. And look at one of the Texas districts that Democrats are running away from. They basically drew a highway between Houston and Austin. Even the media is calling them hypocrites.
Do you believe it's hypocritical for Democrats to deploy the same strategy that they're criticizing by Republicans in Texas?
Well, first of all, let's understand why Donald Trump is asking for 5 more Republican seats out of Texas. It's because his policies, especially his economic policies, have been so bad.
Dodge. The American people don't even know the word gerrymander, and they don't care. They just want politicians to...
I just peeped that Jesse said dodge. Facts, he didn't answer the question. Yeah, here you go, Perfect Storm. That's the perfect time to drop this.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Bet. Yo, that was a good suggestion. We in the building. What we got? What we got? Friggin' no news said they need to redistrict that wig. Universal Black said, hope Crockett got them bundles from the Houston wig shop. She's going to need them. Yo, that's crazy. Yeah. That little riot down there by the hair joint over bundles and wigs. Yo, these Keishas out here looking down bad, cuz.
To show up to work. Democrats never ran away from their job when you lost money, you lost your home, or God forbid your daughter lost her life. They're running away when they might lose power. They're admitting that a blue wave's not coming. It's more like a blue trickle. So they're running, hiding, and throwing a tantrum like my daughter Gigi does when she doesn't get her way. And every parent knows you can't give in, even when your children start breaking stuff.
It was
was everything I could have ever dreamed and hoped for.
What were you thinking about when you were smashing? What did you smash?
The patriarchy.
What were you smashing the anger out for today?
Every.
Yo, this right here, bro. Every liberal woman. This is what and yo, this Sydney Sweeney thing's like a big deal now because they found out that she's Republican, and Trump found out she was Republican, so he did a big Truth Social post saying that Republicans are hot. And yo, it's really looking that way. All these libtard women, like, this is what they look like.
Thing, like our rights being taken away slowly but surely.
Many trans friends that are afraid to even walk outside.
You, Trump! You!
That's where I'm at. A smash room. Democrats can't even figure that out. They're just raging out, but it doesn't hit because of their history.
The
They kept
Democrats
talking about
saying
it, yeah.
anything's a threat to democracy is wild when they haven't had a primary since 2012. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's really wild. I mean,
Wow, you heard what he said? He said they haven't had a primary since 2012. That's crazy. Yo, he's right.
they kicked Bernie out. They made sure RFK Jr. wasn't in, and then when it came time for Kamala to run, no primary at all. They just put her in position.
Even rank and file Democrats are waking up and realizing their party doesn't represent them. It only represents the party machine.
I'm registered Democrat, but I hate my party. I haven't voted for a Democrat really in the elections in quite a while. And yes, I voted a Republican many times because I like the policies better. Democrats have had terrible policies.
Bingo. Yo, that's what we talking over here. Policy. I would venture to say, even though we all voted Trump, and I've said this before, Trump is not a Republican. He took over the party. Trump's a populist president. And we broke this down last week during News Desk. He absorbed two independent candidates, Tulsi Gabbard and RFK. They're third-party candidates. You guys got to think about this. We have never had an administration where the president took over a party. So, and he left the Republican Party. We covered Trump back in like 90 something when he joined the Reform Party. So he's technically not a Republican. And then he's got two independents in his party who helped him adjust his policies while he was running. I mean, in many regards, Trump's really like the first third-party presidential candidate. If you just take the label Republican off, he's run all of the traditional Republicans, i.e. rhinos and stuff, out of the party. I'm sure there's still some there, but they have no power. He's turned the entire party MAGA. So, and like I said, Trump is essentially a centrist. His policies aren't right wing. If you really look back in the early 90s, a lot of Trump's current policies are 90s Democrats policies. Irvin Reed in the building. What up, Playboy? Did I see 7 in? Yo, what up, 7 in? Just finished Sunday Live. 10-10. Oh, 10 out of 10? Yeah, the Sunday Live was good, right? We did have a good show. We had a good show last night. Yeah, it was a really good show. I was saying that to Saul earlier. Yo, thanks, bro. Thanks for the replay, gang.
And now we have the rise of the so-called progressives. They're really regressives.
They need to show more interest in working people instead of saying they're for working people.
If Democrats don't like the way they're losing power in Texas, the way to get it back isn't by running away. It's by running their cities better. Democrats should look at what DeSantis and Florida Republicans did. His policies made Florida so attractive, everyone moved there, and it boosted the party's power. Or Democrats could push popular policies that persuade people to come over to their side. Real men don't run away in a crisis. They listen, strategize, and debate. They lead. Running away is not normal.
Democrats have developed this sort of like cult-like idea of what everyone should accept and what's normal and what's not normal. And it's just like, damn, you're ruining it for everybody that thinks in a left way.
Click here to subscribe.
Perfect. Nice segment. All right. I want to play this. So we just talked about Texas and the new redistricting, and them panicking and running away. So let's get I found this highlight, and I tried to find the original news clip. It's from I guess the original clip's from a local Houston news, but I couldn't find the original clip. So I'm gonna play a piece from someone else's broadcast. But this is actually from the actual public hearing on congressional redistricting map in the Texas House of Representatives. This is local Texas news, right? So this is Crockett throwing her tantrum, essentially because the redistricting may or may not cause her to lose her seat, which is a glorious thing. Although part of me hopes she actually keeps her seat, because the more she talks like a goofy, the better it is for Republicans. But either way, she's still got to go. So this is part of her laying out her argument, and then what we want to watch is the rebuttal by the Republican woman, and and it's gold. This is the first time I've seen someone actually shut her up and make her backtrack. So let's play some of this.
Playing move minorities around so that you can somehow claim that this is nothing but partisanship. The only way that you get here is by making sure that you trample upon the rights and the liberties and the voices of minorities. So let me give you a few facts about the state of Texas. The state of Texas only has 39% Anglos, yet somehow under this map, we are going to have somewhere near 60 something, almost 70% of these seats are going to be chosen by Anglos. If we were looking for fairness and to follow the Voting Rights Act, you'd have 15 Latino opportunity seats, 15 Anglo seats. You then have 4 African-American opportunity seats. Then you'd have 2 Asian opportunity seats, and the other 2 seats would belong to coalitions, because we are a majority minority state where over 60% of this population is people of color. So if you want to do what's fair and right under the Voting Rights Act, as well as if you say that this Fifth Circuit Court case matters and somehow changes everything, my question to you is, when are y'all gonna do y'all's maps? Because you did your maps in 2021, and then the case came out, and I haven't seen y'all talk about the fact that you're gonna redistrict the House and the Senate.
Representative Pearson, you recognize the question.
Fuck what you think, bitch.
My question is for Congresswoman Crockett. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your thoughts on the map. I hear you, I understand, but you did mention.
Yeah, watch this. This is smooth too. A calm, cool takedown. She's going to make her eat a word.
Something in your testimony that I think is worth drawing out a little bit on. You mentioned previously the 2 Anglo seats from before.
Yes.
Who are currently in those seats?
One of them is Lloyd Doggett, and the other one is Wesley Hunt.
And does that mean one is a Democrat seat and one is a Republican seat?
Correct.
Okay. So the Democrat seat elected a white man.
Yes.
And the Republican seat elected a black man.
Yes.
Okay. And then so today you're concerned about the new Anglo seats, and the assumption that you're making is that it's going to lead to more Anglo representation.
It is.
Okay.
Because so to be clear, because I may have not been clear, these seats are not about who gets elected. They're about who gets to choose who is elected. And so my district, while it is an African American opportunity seat, it is an opportunity for African Americans to choose their representation. But they don't have to elect a Black person. We have a similar seat in Memphis, Tennessee, that historically was always represented by the Ford family. Harold Ford Sr. and Harold Ford Jr. had it, but now it is a white man that is representing that Black seat. So it's not about the faces of the seats. It's about who gets to choose who's in the seat. And that doesn't mean that they're going to choose their own race. As you see, 2 Anglo majority seats, one went for a white candidate, one went for a Black candidate. It's not about us as candidates. It's about.
This is such a stupid argument. She's supposed to be an attorney.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap.
Bruh.
Out the people that get to do the choosing.
Well, I would argue that based on the testimony that we've heard over the last week or so, it's both. We're hearing racism all over the place. We're hearing, people want to choose people who look like them, which apparently has been happening. And I just wanted to make it clear that, something that has not been said yet is that there are minority Republicans. I mean, there is a Black and Hispanic Republican on the dais. And so I just don't think it's fair to just assume that the Anglo districts are going to lead to more Anglo representation.
Again,
but those were your words, so I'm just.
Again, I apologize if that is how it was.
Ooh, look at that. I ain't never seen her backtrack like that. Look how calm this chick looks. She's cute too. And she's staring her down like, you goofy broad.
Interpreted. But my clarification is that when we're talking about the law and the Voting Rights Act, it's never been based upon who it is that gets elected. It's based upon who it is that gets to choose who is elected.
And so on that note, with these new lines, political performance was taken in consideration.
That is what we've heard from the bill author, yes.
And in previous hearings, I mentioned specifically that in the state of Texas, President Trump did win a majority of the Hispanic voters in the state. And just to broaden that even further, those are the numbers. President Trump did win the majority of the Hispanic votes in the state. In fact, he flipped, I believe it was 10 counties in the state. So don't you think that is reflective of this map, this proposed map, that the minorities who are here with the new minority districts that have been created, it is reflective?
Gotcha, Bish. Gotcha. She's cold killing her, huh? Irva Reed said, LOL, she used her own words to wrap her up. Yeah. 7 A. You stupid. 7 A said, hey, yo, did you call her cute? You a hashtag keto soundbite. Y'all niggas funny. Y'all niggas funny, man. Here, you get this. Yo, that's funny as hell. Yeah, Lethal Latina. Yeah, she hunger with that shit, right? All right, let's go.
No, Representative, I don't.
And so you don't agree with the new minority Hispanic seats? Because
I don't agree with this map.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Did y'all hear that?
That was cold. She shut her up quick. I've never seen Crockett actually shut down in public. I think when the chick ran her shit back to her, she was listening to herself and was like, "Man, I really sound dumb." And that's what I was saying when I was when she was doing the original argument. I was like, "What is she talking about?" All right, let's do this. Yeah, I do got to type, Irv. I suppose. All right, wait. Let's do Russiagate, and then I want to do this Bitcoin segment. I think Universal Black in here. We do this crypto segment. Bingo bango. Let's go. Cross your fingers, man. It's looking like somebody might go. It's looking like somebody might go to jail. Cross your fingers.
All right, welcome back. A Fox News alert. Attorney General Pam Bondi signed an order just about 45 minutes ago. It was released that directs a U.S. federal prosecutor to take evidence to a grand jury that's related to the alleged conspiracy to tie then 2016 candidate Donald Trump to Russia. All right, let's bring in Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley to react. Professor, it's great to see you, and I have many questions for you, all of them legal in nature, but I feel compelled, Professor, to start with one that maybe isn't so legal, and that is this. I know that I personally, and many people watching, have a bit of cynicism and fatigue when it comes to potential accountability for elected officials or government officials. So I want you to take today's news and tell me, do you think do you think we should, watching, feel more hope today after this impanelment of a grand jury for accountability, or should we still remain somewhat cynical, somewhat fatigued?
Well, Will, it's a very good question. I don't think this is an excuse for cynicism, but I do believe it's a reason for continued skepticism. But there's still hope here. This is the first necessary step to finding out about the real Russian conspiracy. There never was a Russian collusion conspiracy. That was hatched by the Clinton campaign. They secretly funded the Steele dossier. They denied that to the media, and they laid out this very successful political hit job using the media, using the government. It's amazing how much the public still doesn't know. But in the last few weeks, this administration has given us information that we haven't seen before. I've been following this, writing about it for years. Some of this is new stuff, and it's startling.
Okay, so it's a hopeful first step in what would be a long road to accountability. Let's ask some of the legal questions now. As I understand it, Professor, the grand jury could come back if they find sufficient evidence and probable cause with an indictment against as of yet unnamed individuals. Let's start with the charges. And you've been following this story for, well, about a decade. So what does the evidence point to? Like, what could be the charges coming out of a grand jury?
Well, Will, I think today about half the lawyers in the city went on retainer. About 40 minutes ago, you just lost about 50% of the bar in terms of client base. The reason is that there are a lot of people, a lot of powerful people in this town that have already been mentioned in some of these releases. The most at risk, the most exposed include people like John Brennan, who I've been writing a lot about. It's very hard to square his testimony before Congress with what was just released. And he and Clapper, who is also at risk here, just published an op-ed in the New York Times. If they didn't have counsel before, they should get it now, because I was astonished by that column. I was astonished the New York Times published it because it seems to me strikingly untrue. But they say that they didn't rely on the Steele dossier, which has been largely debunked, the one funded by the Clinton campaign. These documents indicate that Brennan may have personally intervened to guarantee that the dossier was part of this infamous assessment that occurred at the very end of the Obama administration. Now, Obama himself is likely in the clear because he has immunity due to the recent Supreme Court decision. He can thank Donald Trump for that. But the rest of them are exposed. And there's a very long list.
Including Hillary Clinton?
It can be Clinton. Now, the key to remember here is that even if the statute of limitations has run, these people are likely to be questioned again. So they can be subject to the trifecta of the most common charges, the ones the prosecutors love the most, which are things like obstruction, false statements to federal investigators, and perjury.
Facts. And yeah, we were saying that last week that Trump winning that Supreme Court case with regard to immunity was going to put Obama in the clear because he's executive branch as well. But just like Turley said, that don't mean we can't get all the people around them for obstruction, perjury, et cetera, et cetera. I definitely want Comey. I definitely want Brennan. And I definitely want Paul Clapper, who's got a Paul's-worthy last name. Clapper. It sounds like Diddy.
The Obama administration used those quite widely. So did the special counsel. Those are likely to appear again now. So even if the statute of limitations has run, it won't run on new statements. It'll just start again. And if there is a conspiracy, as been suggested by the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, that conspiracy may have elongated that statute of limitations.
Okay, conspiracy, obstruction of justice, perjury. These are all potential charges.
Okay, conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and perjury, among others. Quiet storm in the building. He says, we in here. All right, let's go.
Charges for potentially defendants who could include Brennan, Clapper, Clinton, among others, which will all be revealed in due time should it come out of a grand jury. Professor Turley, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Will.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way.
Norvell kills Jason, all dudes. He said, I smell Keisha in here. Oh, man. Hold on. Everybody says you fake a conspiracy to hide your conspiracy while lying on another about them conspiring. Say that 10 times fast. That's a whole fact. Right, or STD, Clapper. Facts. Storm said, I smell Keisha here. Let's see. Quiet Storm with the 5, gifted the 5 memberships. And what do we got? We got Jason, Keels, Norvell, Project Leroy, and Brooklyn GQ. No Keishas this time either. But, hold on. Quiet Storm. Look. Your girl Erin dropped by to say good evening earlier when we started. She said good evening. I'll be in the background listening. I hope your week's off to a great start, everyone. Shout out to Quiet Storm with the 5 memberships. Let's run the gambit for this one.
We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricey games coming up.
A massive gizzard has buried Kamlambus in 2 feet of dong load. Locals blame the lack of preparation on Mayor Linda P. Slurp.
The city of Columbus is reeling today after an unprecedented event. What officials are calling a gizzard has left downtown streets.
Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck you and your mammy and your granny too. Fuck all you hoes. I'm sick of this shit. Fuck all you hoes. Don't give a damn, bitch, what you wanna do. Fuck all you hoes.
Yes, sir. That's the gambit. We throw some Keishas in there later too. I'll play your World War III joint. All right, let's get after it. Let's talk some crypto. We finally got some crypto news. I was actually looking at my Robinhood today too. We had some movement. Quiet Storm said, I guess the memo got out. I'm hunting cloud watchers. They ran away, and that's a whole fact though, because we shook them out two times in a row. Marie says, salute to the cloud watchers. Please hit the like button, and if you guys got a membership from Quiet Storm, please drop in the chat and thank the gentleman. All right, guys, let's go. We got some Bitcoin news. And this is as of 7 hours ago. Let's get out with my man Charles Payne. Charles Payne got that money, man. You can see by seeing his suits.
All right, so in a recent X post, Michael Saylor, the executive chairman of Strategy, wrote, Bitcoin is a swarm of cyber hornets serving the goddess of wisdom, feeding on the fire of truth, exponentially growing ever smarter, faster, and stronger behind a wall of encrypted energy. Joining me now, Strategy Executive Chairman Michael Saylor. So, Michael, I had to go. I went on AI to ask if hornets are indeed good, and the answer was yes. Hornets are beneficial for the ecosystem. So they play a valuable role in controlling pest populations, even contributing to pollination. So I guess it's a good, appropriate metaphor there.
You know, Bitcoin's a virus. It's a freedom virus. It's based on a monetary virus that's in turn based on a truth virus. You know, and we think of it as a swarm creature because everywhere in the world, there's someone that's supporting the Bitcoin ecosystem with their electricity, their computer power, their political power, their economic power. And it's about as unstoppable as a swarm of hornets are unstoppable. You can't shoot a bullet through it. You know, it's spreading all throughout the world, and it just keeps getting stronger day by day, week by week, month by month.
This is something you told us was going to happen for the last few years. Now I gotta ask you though about the Bitcoin yield. I saw on your website 4.4% Bitcoin yield this quarter, 25% year to date. Those sound like very lofty numbers, but what does it even mean to folks out there?
You know, so Bitcoin's a long-term asset. You know, you want to hold it for 21 years. It's been returning about 50% plus a year. It's very volatile. Believe it or not, there are a lot of people that want 2x Bitcoin. They don't want the Bitcoin return. They want 100% return. So MicroStrategy, the equity or strategy.
That's right, baby. We over here talking crypto. Universal Black says JP Morgan is linking with Coinbase. Of course, you know how it goes. At first they fight it, and then they join the team because JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, Warren Buffett, Bill Ackerman, they was all talking crazy about crypto. And they was trying to get SEC and the Federal Reserve all involved. But now it's running out of money. And shout out to Trump, because Trump's trying to do a full Bitcoin reserve. He's trying to buy up as much Bitcoin as he can and have the Treasury hold it. And whatchamacallit, he's trying to have it so that if you actually have Bitcoin and want to sell it, you can sell it directly to the government at a premium.
The equity is amplified Bitcoin. We actually aim to generate 2x the Bitcoin return and 2x the volatility. And the way we do it is by issuing credit instruments. So believe it or not, there's someone that would like to get double the money market return or double the yield in their bank account. So if we give them 9%, we've doubled their bank account. We've kind of beat the SOFR rate by 5%. But, you know, Bitcoin's returning 55%. So if I take the 5% boost and I give it in a short duration treasury instrument to credit investors, the other 45% goes to the equity investors. That creates Bitcoin yield.
Wow. Okay. Now that you've explained it, it sounds even more enticing. But you also posted that the Wall Street continues to.
All right, so they're already starting to make financial instruments around Bitcoin, bro. It's showtime. And he said that's actually the first time I've heard that not that Bitcoin's a long-term asset. Most crypto is, although you can trade the volatility. But the 21 years, so everybody that's been holding is going to be good. And also, the 21 years will coincide with the decreasing number of blocks up until the point where no more Bitcoin will be printed. Quiet Storm says Trump really trying to use Bitcoin and other altcoins to pay off the debt, which is brilliant, by the way. I don't know if that will work, but he's going to try. If he ends up setting up a crypto repository in the Treasury, and he's buying up Bitcoin left and right, it costs the government nothing, and they're just going to they're going to hold it indefinitely. So at some point, when Bitcoin skyrockets, yeah, it'll be massive. Plus, we pulling in all the tariff money. 7 Ant said 11 years, bull, 33 million, bear, 5.18 mil. Might be onto something. Crypto are the new bearer bonds. Facts. It could also help with inflation. Facts. I thought it was a stable. No, it is a stable coin. He was saying Bitcoin and other altcoins. Let's go back to 1933-34. Let's see. The utility-based coins are going to be the main factor in this bull run. I agree with that as well.
A misunderstanding strategy continues to undervalue the company. Is there in your mind right now at this particular point a correct valuation?
The accounting only became fair value this year. And so I think Wall Street is undervalued, underestimated, misunderstood what's going on in the entire crypto ecosystem. We're now the ninth most profitable company on an operating basis in the S&P. We're number 96 in market cap. We're like number 495 on a P/E basis. So I don't think Wall Street quite gets it. We're the fourth most profitable finance company in the United States right now, and it's
shit off of a crypto strategy. Give it up.
We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricing games coming up.
So it's pretty common to dismiss or to disparage something you're afraid of, you don't understand. I think that Wall Street's starting to come to grips with this new thing this year, but it'll probably be a few more years before they really understand the power of digital capital and Bitcoin as an ecosystem.
Well, you just laid out the value proposition, though, for people who want to buy your stock. The Journal is just a recent article talked about this 86 billion, it's probably more now, raised by companies. They want to fund the treasury like with Bitcoin. You must be flattered. Of course, speaking in the financial media, I saw one piece that said it's a fad, another piece that wonders if it's a Ponzi scheme. What do you say? And is it a problem for you that everyone's sort of trying to mimic what you're doing right now with a scarce resource?
100 years ago, people disparaged companies that wanted to use electricity or gasoline in their business. They thought that was faddish. Again, they just don't understand it. This is digital capital. So if you're using traditional treasuries as capital, you're underperforming the S&P by 10% a year. So you're burning money on your treasury. If you're using Bitcoin, you're outperforming the S&P by something like 40% a year. So the more capital you raise, the more capital you hold, the faster you create shareholder value. It's not a problem. All those companies are adopting the Bitcoin standard. It's just like companies deciding to put internal combustion engines in their machines or use electricity or
Yo, he said Michael looks like he donated blood for Bitcoin. That's funny as hell. 7 Ant says, we're early. I'm proud of black men getting on before Keisha tried to us this as a dating standard. Yo, you're right on that, man. Salute to black man, because brother's been on crypto for years, bro. For years. Shout out to the Crypto Gang podcast. Black Rams homie over in Thailand now. He was in North Carolina when I first started watching him. And he invested in crypto real early. And he's actually one of the best actually invested. Yeah, Oheen. Yeah, the homie Oheen. He knows the crypto market like nobody's business. Crypto Gang podcast. So if you guys haven't checked out, that's Black Rams homie. They do a show together too. But yeah, brothers was on crypto real heavy, like real early. Bro, we're ahead of the curve. Like this, what's coming out of this space, it really is on like the birth of the new black man. This is a new renaissance. You know, and our ethnic image is through the roof globally because we traveling. Like, you know, I'm in Peru. Like, they like the way the brothers carry themselves, man. Not the passport pookies, but like the brothers that travel. Like, it's real in the field out here.
Or the internet or computer semiconductors, it's going to become the rule over time, because why would you want your company to burn 10% of its capital every year when it could double or triple its capital every year?
Today, a company called Verb, which I never heard of, up almost 100%. They raised close to $600 million for the open network, or TON, for the TON coin to be used on the TON blockchain. You know, we've got stablecoin, we've got Ether. The cyberspace is broadening. Does that change things for you? Does that change the calculus for where your company can go?
You know, there's an explosion of innovation in the crypto economy right now, and I think Telegram is offering.
Hey, you know what? Hey guys, put a 1 in the chat if you want me to start doing like crypto segments on the news desk, because we get you know, when it's reasonably good news, or some good information, I could put together a crypto segment on the news desk. I think that might actually be a good idea. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's a good idea, and I'll poll it several times during the week as well.
A wallet that lets you move Bitcoin and lets you move stable coins at the speed of light over that network. So I think it has to do with the enthusiasm of the technology community in this idea that maybe we could have 1 billion people that have a mobile app that moves money at the speed of light and stores their life savings in an asset that keeps going up in value. I think you'll see more and more of this innovation now that we've got a new pro-innovation administration.
Yeah, and if you guys got IRAs or 401ks, in the last several years, they've started making crypto available in your 401ks and IRAs. So if your 401k is managed by the company or something like that, you know, just contact them and tell them you want like 10% of your allocation to crypto, Bitcoin, just to be safe. Like Bitcoin's basically the digital gold right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't know anything about crypto, so I mean, just to hedge, you know what I mean? Your portfolio is going to be primarily equities, but just hedge with like a piece of crypto in there. You know, the earliest you can withdraw is age 65. Like this guy said, 21 years around the time you want to hold, you know, give or take, et cetera, et cetera. So just having that little bit of crypto in your portfolio around retirement time, that might, we got no idea where the top of this bull run's gonna be. And it might sizably increase your retirement holdings. Not financial advice, just an observation. Storm says the brothers who will never been on YouTube showing bottom feeder chicks, but out here really getting this money and traveling will be on purpose. Exactly. All right, so a bunch of ones. All right, bet. I'll start to put together these crypto segments. I've been in crypto since I was mining Bitcoin on daisy chained PS2s using their GPUs in 2013. I was in early. Quiet Storm says, yes, sir. Brothers are done with that G fund and their free exactly and their 401ks. We in the crypto fund. Facts. And even if you have a 401k, they've got you got to open up an IRA as well. It's just another retirement financial instrument, and they have ones that are pure crypto or ones that you can or that are mixed equities and crypto. I think you can even buy crypto and Fidelity IRAs now as well.
And there's going to be thousands of very interesting ideas. They all come down to the digital transformation of finance and the digital transformation of capital.
Can I tell you, Michael, we've been talking on and off for years now, and I've always admired your vision and the way you've stuck to this. Even the times that you were on the mat, and you never cried, you never whined. You said, "Hey, listen, this is the value proposition. It's going to work," and you're changing the entire world now. Congrats.
Yeah, I remember that guy. He was taking a beating when crypto crashed. Perfect Square says, I wonder how much they will try to tax crypto since it would be considered a capital gain over a certain amount. You better believe they're going to be taxing crypto. That's why they're trying to tax. They're taxing it now. Because on Cash App you could buy crypto. I mean, you could buy Bitcoin. They send you your tax documents. I got my Cash App that when I buy something with a card, it takes the change and it just automatically buys Bitcoin with my change. I've been doing that for quite some time. I mean, that's not the only way I buy Bitcoin. Of course, I use the exchanges and such, but like I said, they built crypto into everything, so there's really no excuse for you not to hold any crypto at all. If you got Cash App, you should at least you could buy Bitcoin right on there. Scornstone said you can. I have been dabbling with Fidelity. Okay, so you can with Fidelity for the past 2 years. Not moving serious money, just a couple hundred here and there. But that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Square says, I was thinking about that because you have an intangible asset, crypto, versus money, which is trackable and tangible. Well, see, you could get away with that, like in the during all the early days. All that shit's done, bro. NSA snatched all those Silk Road servers. They had the issue with China, bro. They're on it now. Say it ain't so. Look who's decided to pop up in the chat. It's like old times. Do Better podcast. Yo, in case y'all don't know, Do Better podcast been around with us since, when we say day one, since season 1, when we had nobody in the chat. It was me, Saul, and Gunmetal Guy. Do Better podcast, who is the infamous Mr. Theo Coop, is also our first ever channel member and has been the longest standing channel member on this channel, if you could believe it. This guy's like 5 times our size. Yo, salute, bro, man. Thanks for dropping by, man. I be saying it all the time, man. When we ain't have nobody in the chat, when we were still at like 200 subscribers, the fact you dropped them little eyeballs in the chat, man, that shit kept us going, man. We appreciate you over here. We got a couple drops for you.
We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricey games. Off by a star. Man, fuck all you hoes. Fuck
In a shocking development, the federal government says being broke is allowed, but if you're broke and glowing, you are officially now a suspect.
You can't be glowing more than your financial status. Look your problem.
I used to say silly things like, where are all the good men at? Until I started taking accountability. Now I know I'm just an ain't shit ass bitch.
Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem.
Riker, my good fortune is your good fortune.
I don't need your fantasy women.
Oh, you're so stolid. You weren't like that before the beard. Very well.
All right. Yo, salute to you, Theo, man. Appreciate you, man. Okay, there we go. We up in, all right, we up in here. We damn near got a full house. He said, Questor said, he come and throw his check mark and drop by and go to bed. Y'all niggas funny. Oh, okay. Aaron follows still too. All right. We got a big family reunion up in here. Yeah, Silk Road. All right, guys. We up in here. Questor got jokes. He said, I requested 1 Bitcoin from Machismo Cash App just to be petty. Man, your shit gonna bounce, cuz. Yo. All right, before we do the number by the number section, we are at the 1 hour and 11 minute mark. This Sydney Sweeney thing, we didn't touch on it too much. Mainly just because it's hilarious. Y'all seen I've been posting memes and stuff on the community tab. The Tropic Thunder joint with the Robert Downey Jr. AI joint, that shit is hilarious, bruh. Oh yeah, we're gonna do by the numbers. So I watch Gutfeld. That's my guy. And he is the undisputed king of late night right now. And he has been for quite some time. And Gutfeld is the first late night guy to actually do a segment about i.e. manosphere, and come down on our side, have the lingo correct, and actually get the talking points right. But let's play a piece of Gutfeld addressing this Sydney Sweeney ad thing, just because it's funny and tongue-in-cheek, and then we're going to jump into a by the number segment and call it a night, ladies and gentlemen. I finally get to say ladies and gentlemen because Aaron's here, and when Gail occasionally pops up, there we go.
In 5 words. So in 5 words, Sydney's a Republican, MAGA rejoices. Okay, Heather, MAGA world is celebrating after the woke mob has taken on Sydney Sweeney. You know the whole controversy over her ad. People said, "Oh, it's like jeans. It's it's the Nazis or whatever." And an ex-user decided to out her, and so he said he looked into her voting records. He posted them online, revealing her party affiliation. Is this going to hurt her? What do you think?
No, she's Republican, registered. Yeah. No, it obviously hasn't. And I think she's doubled down. I didn't know this is like the second political controversy that she's been in. I don't really, I should follow it more perhaps. But in 2022, at her mom's birthday party, she received a lot of backlash because a lot of the older ladies were wearing MAGA hats. And word got around, and so I guess she got pushed back for that. But now, hey, she's a registered Republican. I think at the end of the day, this is a rejection of cancel culture. It's okay to be a beautiful woman. It's okay to be excellent. And cancel culture is dead. I think this is a testimony.
This is it? R.I.P. cancel culture.
I kind of agree in part with that statement. I do think that we are witnessing the beginning. Are you serious? Killing me over here. This tab just started playing by itself. Are you serious? Whatchamacallit? No, I think this is in part like the beginning of we're witnessing the beginning of the death of cancel culture. Cause see, Saul concurs. And I say that because a number of things aside from this, we're seeing all the call you out for this and call you out for that. None of that shit's working out, and we're actually starting to see the libs and the libtards actually be clowned now. And because Trump pretty much hasn't backed down on anything, crushing Harvard, Columbia, killing DEI, cutting all these programs, cutting the funding from what do you call it? From PBS. He's basically dismantling the infrastructure that actually supports the cancel culture initiative, because that's what it would be. They social engineer social media, and then the infrastructure would attack the individual or the entity, getting you fired. You can't get hired here. Wear your pronouns. You're not wearing your pin. All that is being put to bed. And once again, black men who we pulled over the Pareto distribution, they're saying 20% in the exit polls voting for Trump. I do not believe those numbers. I think it's close. I believe it's more in line with Patrick Bet-David's internal polling, somewhere around 30%, 31%, because, and if you listen to the chatter on social media, it's getting harder and harder to find black Democratic men talking, and when you do find them, they're either old ninjas or backdooria. You feel what I'm saying? Quiet Storm says Western society got sick and tired of cancel culture. They took it too far, just like they took it too far with rainbows and Trojan. That is a whole facto. Lord of Brooklyn says Joey Swole failed at surmounting cancel culture, and now he is trying to make a comeback. And to that point, the Sweeney thing is a good juxtapose. Sweeney and American Eagle, they just doubled down and told him to suck it. Quiet Storm, Joey Swole got bigger problems. He took on business defending Hulk Hogan, and now he's backpedaling like a Michael Jackson moonwalk. Hey, I still mess with Hulk Hogan, the wrestling character. I grew up on that shit. Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Andre the Giant, Junkyard Dog, the Road Warriors. Man, can't tell me nothing. All right, let's get back to a little bit of this. Bingo bango.
Culture. Trump weighed in on this. I want to get your take on this. Do we have the tweet, or is it the audio? Let's play Trump.
She's a registered Republican? Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans.
That's a fact. That goes back to my point about the black men who the black male voter block. You'd be surprised how many people voted for Trump and they didn't tell you, or they told you, or during the exit polls they were telling them, yeah, we voted for Kamala, but they really voted for Trump.
That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic.
Okay, Tyrus, let me get your take on that. And do you think he was being honest there, that he had never heard that before?
No, he's only running the country. He watches Fox News. Yeah. I don't think the commercial runs on between Gutfeld. So he probably had no idea about it. I had no idea about it. But cancel culture, this isn't cancel culture. This has nothing to do with cancel culture. This has to do with mean-ass women. That's what this has to do with. This is what all women do. There's a certain set of women who just hate whenever another woman is successful. If another woman says something funny on TV, there's Gladys or Kelly, whoever's, every time Cat cracks joke, oh my God, I can't stand it, she's on TV. And they're always the same thing. They look like a bag of oatmeal, and they're ugly and mean, and the only time...
They look like a bag of oatmeal.
And the only time they jump on their keyboard is when a woman's successful. So they're mad that a young woman who's in shape had a pair of jeans on, and heterosexual men were like, yeah. And girls were like, oh, I want to look like that. Yeah. And who? Because they can't fit no jeans.
He's actually spot on with that. That's exactly what it is. Because if you look on social media, all the chicks that are complaining are big backs or purple hairs or septum ring mafia.
So they said something like, oh my God, she's Hitler. She's this. These are the same people who tell a friend who's 400 pounds that she looks good in a miniskirt.
Interesting. Kat, do you think it is a female thing rather than a leftist thing? Because I've seen some guys they've joined in. So guys are attacking her as well. They think.
What kind of guys?
What kind of guys?
Bingo, right on, Titus. Yo, what? I just said it. What kind of guys?
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. What kind of guys? Everybody knows what is going on exactly in a nutshell. What Coop say? Coop said Joey Swole back down like a little bitch. If you go and defend Hulk Hogan, don't back down when the heat come. Yeah, like, and he ain't what his blonde hair, blue eyed daughter dating a YN. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily mad at him for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not exactly sure if I'm mad at him for that. Storm says Daughter Explorer always has an ugly smug on her face. She looked like she ate some bad cherries. Yo, that's how the chicks was. Yo, y'all seen all them jaws on y'all seen them big backs mad at that Sweeney ad. You know what I'm saying? Sweeney got big boobs. I mean, she's good looking. I don't actually think she's all that crazy hot like that for them to be wilding out. Yeah, man, we'll do it live. Shit, one more time for the people in the back row.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it.
All right, we on the roll tonight, man. Let's go. What we got? Why is nobody talking about when he called us colored? Yeah, how about that, right? That's the 80s.
But they think, look, I see it online. I see on X, people are saying she has to issue a statement now. They're trying to pressure her.
First of all, I did see this last week, and I can't believe that this is getting another week in the news cycle. Yeah. I was watching it from the couch. I was like, should I have gone bigger?
Do they have? Could you say?
No, I
couldn't. Say, give me the Sydney Sweeney?
I was like, yeah. I was like, should I have? No. But listen, I think I have such a hard time believing that this controversy is real. And if you really are upset by this, then I genuinely feel sadness for you. I genuinely feel sadness for anyone who's upset. But I don't. Some of the headlines, even about the ad itself, for one thing, but then her becoming coming out that she was a Republican.
Yeah.
Some of the headlines, Newsweek was like, Sydney Sweeney, a registered Republican. What we know. It's like usually the what we know is like when they're talking about some kind of horrific contagion that broke out somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
Or a serial
killer. Who cares? Lots of people are Republicans. A lot of people are Republicans out there.
What's this? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Oh, I thought you was talking about Hulk Hogan. Okay, he said no, Joe. Oh, that's right. He did call people colored. Joey Swole, while trying to apologize, called black people colored instead of people of color. Yeah, bro, who says that? That's like 1950s nigger with the hard R, right? Where you been at, bro? All right, that's the bulk of that segment I wanted to do. All right, man, let's do some by the goddamn numbers. Let's do some by the numbers, right? Here's some interlude music.
Your kids, they need to know I'm here to fuck you. I don't wanna know your name, your kids, they need to know. I'm here to fuck you. Get the fuck on, ain't no shame. I'm here to fuck. 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 Watch this bridge, y'all. I'm here to fuck. They, your kids, they need to know. I'm here to fuck you. I don't wanna know your name, your kids, they need to know. I'm here to fuck you. Get the fuck on, ain't no shame. I'm here to fuck. 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 Watch this bridge, y'all. I'm here to fuck.
And we're back. All right, let's go. Showtime. By the numbers. Where's my banner? This segment is brought to you courtesy of Quiet Storm and Kwame Kaiju, who voted by the numbers be a steady segment.
Kamala Harris has announced that she will not run for California governor in 2026. This has fueled speculation as to whether she will run for president again in 2028. And in this video,
All right, bet. So this is who are these guys? Is it my guy? Okay. This is election time. So all these by the numbers channels are popping up now. So this is we did what did we do? We did Gavin Newsom versus Vance 2028 election map prediction based on current data sets. This one, since Kamala just reared her ugly head and word saladed all over the place. What's the new thing? And word count. This one is the 2028 election map prediction, Harris versus Vance. Let's run the numbers.
we'll take a look at whether or not she'll even be able to win the Democratic primary and how she would fare in a potential matchup against Republican frontrunner J.D. Vance. According to the latest Democratic primary polling averages, Kamala Harris is in the lead at 21%. She is followed closely by Biden's Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, the current governor of California Gavin Newsom, and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And looking at the polls, things do seem to look good for Kamala Harris, but one thing you have to remember is that the only reason she is the front runner is because she was the party's nominee in 2020 and the former vice president. It is simply her name recognition that is keeping her at the top. If there was a real primary race, I do expect her numbers to drop. She is not the best campaigner, and we have obviously seen that in both 2019 and 2024.
Facts. That is accurate.
Now, on the Republican side, J.D. Vance has an even larger lead. He's at 49.1%. There's no doubt that he is the clear front runner on the Republican side. Donald Trump Jr. is in second.
I agree with this lineup as well. Yeah, Vance, Jr., DeSantis, Rubio. Yup, I agree with that.
At just 11%. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, at 10.7%. And Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, comes in at number 4. And so coming back to the map, we're going to start off by filling in the solid states for both candidates. Kamala Harris.
I want to see if they predict Pennsylvania red. That's we helped turn Pennsylvania red. That's where I'm from this election season. I'm very proud of that.
As the presumptive Democratic nominee for this scenario, Republicans will, of course, very likely nominate J.D. Vance. And so we'll begin with the solid blue states that Kamala Harris is going to win easily by margins of 15 percentage points or more. And so we'll begin on the West Coast, where she will take Washington and California. She will also win in Hawaii, as well as Vermont, Massachusetts, Maryland, and the District of Columbia. And then she will also take the 1st District of Maine, along with Joe Biden's home state of Delaware. This will give her 101 electoral votes. And as for the vice president, J.D. Vance.
I just saw that. He said, Quiet Storm said, let's nerd out, baby. Hell yeah, let's nerd out.
Vance will easily win in Alaska, Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North and South Dakota, all of Nebraska except its 2nd district, Kansas, Oklahoma, Iowa, Missouri, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, West Virginia, South Carolina, and Florida. This gives the vice.
I agree with you, Lord of Brooklyn. DeSantis did irreparable damage to his political future by running against Trump. I agree. If he would have waited, he would have been untouchable. That is a whole fact, though. Trump's a politician and a chess player. He whipped DeSantis back into shape, and he's got him holding down Florida. And I think that is the extent of where he is going to excel in the new Trump MAGA part, because Trump holds grudges. Just read Art of the Deal. He believes in getting even. He believes in revenge. Irvin Reed said Trump Jr., the older short one, or the tall one? No, Trump Jr., the immediate one. Eric is the blonde. Trump Jr. is the one with the beard and the dark hair.
Vice President 201 electoral votes. And so with just these solid states filled in, J.D. Vance has already taken a 100 electoral vote lead over the former vice president. And before we get to the likely states, I want to take a look at a poll that was released a few weeks ago between J.D. Vance and 3 of the top Democratic contenders. Now, Kamala Harris was not polled here, but this poll was conducted by Emerson College, which is one of the top pollsters, and it shows J.D. Vance defeating Pete Buttigieg by 1%, AOC by 3%, and Gavin Newsom also by 3%. It looks like, at least now, that J.D. Vance is a strong Republican candidate and will likely be able to deliver Republicans their 2nd presidential win in a row. And coming back to the map, we're now going to fill in the likely states for both candidates, states that are going to go to Harris or Vance by margins of 5 to 15 points. These states are going to be a little bit more competitive than the solid ones, but one candidate still has a pretty clear advantage. And so starting off with the likely states for the former vice president, we have Oregon and Colorado. We also have Illinois and New York. These 2 states are ones where the vice president significantly underperformed in 2024. She won Illinois by 11 points, in New York by just over 12, when Joe Biden just 4 years prior won Illinois by 17 and New York by 23. Many traditionally solid blue states became likely in the last election, and I don't expect things to change too much for the former vice president if she does decide to run again. We also have Connecticut and Rhode Island, and so this will give Kamala Harris 177 electoral votes. One of the biggest problems for Harris and the Democrats right now is just how unpopular as a party they are. The Democratic Party right now does not have a leader following Kamala Harris's loss, Joe Biden being literally 82 years old. The Democratic Party does not have anyone to lead them, and that is one of the main reasons why their net favorability currently sits at -23. Just 36% of the American electorate has a favorable view of the Democratic Party. 60% view them unfavorably. Many of these are, of course, Republicans, but also independents and left-leaning progressives, people that are even on the left of the Democratic Party. They do not approve of the party. As for the Republicans, things are looking a little better here. Their net approval is -12. 54% of the country view them unfavorably, but 42% do view them favorably. And that is a big advantage for J.D. Vance going into the next election. And so we're now going to fill in the likely red states. These are races that Vance is going to easily win. And many of these used to be incredibly competitive. I mean, just look at Ohio, a state that was a swing state back in 2008 and 2012. Barack Obama carried it by 3 points just 13 years ago. However, in 2016, Trump flipped the Buckeye State, winning it by 8. He then won it by the same margin in 2020, and then increased that margin all the way up to 11 in 2024. I see J.D. Vance winning Ohio again. This is actually his home state. I don't have him winning by 15 points or more specifically, but I definitely have him at winning Ohio by a double-digit margin. We also have North Carolina. I mean, this was one of the 7 battlegrounds from 2024. It is the only state out of the 7 that Trump carried in all 3 elections. In 2016, he won it by 3.7. In 2020, he won it by 1.3. And in 2024, Trump carried the Tar Heel state by 3.2. With J.D. Vance on the ballot and North Carolina continuing to shift back towards the right, I have it in the likely red column, with J.D. Vance carrying it by just over 5 points. We also have the 2nd District of Maine, which has been pretty reliably Republican for the last few election cycles, and Arizona. This was a big surprise in 2024, as in 2020, Joe Biden carried Arizona by 0.3%. It was the first win for a Democrat here going back to 1996, but just 4 years later, with Kamala Harris at the top of the Democratic ticket, she loses it by 5.5%. This was a surprisingly large margin, and I can definitely see J.D. Vance continuing the GOP streak of winning Arizona by at least 5 points. And so with all of these solid and likely states now filled in for both candidates, I have the vice president at 246 electoral votes and the former vice president at 177. And so with 115 electoral votes outstanding, before we get to the lean states, I wanted to revisit the Democratic primary polling, where, of course, Harris sits at the top with 21%. But compare this to where Joe Biden was before 2020, when he was, at the time, the former vice president. He was at 30% before he announced and shot all the way up to over 40% after he announced his candidacy. And so Joe Biden was performing a lot better.
Damn, these guys are good. These guys are good. They got all the numbers. This from Real Clear Politics. Okay. And I like this interactive map they've got. All right, these guys are good. All right, we're going to keep using them for these election projections.
Than Harris is today. And we also do see Harris on this graph. She ended her campaign in December of 2019, and at that time she was polling at just 3.5 points. I mean, Michael Bloomberg, Tulsi Gabbard, Elizabeth Warren, and Amy Klobuchar all went further than the former vice president. Kamala Harris is not at all a shoo-in for the Democratic nomination, not like J.D. Vance is on the Republican side. And so I would not be surprised at all if any of these other top candidates were to unseat her at the top before she even announces her campaign, as people forget more and more about 2020.
Yeah, on this channel, we was calling Vance for president before Trump even won. We were like, man, if Trump wins, this guy's the next president. Because we just saw how he was tearing up the mainstream media. He's a killer.
Before, right now, she is the front runner, and typically when we see candidates that lose run again, like we saw with Adlai Stevenson in the 60s, they typically do not perform it too well. And so many Republicans right now are gunning for Kamala Harris to be the nominee, because they know that she is probably not going to improve by very much at all, or maybe even do worse than she did last time. And so coming back to the map, we'll fill in the lean states first for Kamala Harris. States she's going to win by 1 to 5 percentage points. And we'll begin in the Northeast, where we have a very contentious Senate election next year. But on the presidential level, Maine still does lean towards the Democrats, and Kamala Harris will likely win its 2 at-large votes. We also have the Garden State of New Jersey. Joe Biden carried it by 16 points in 2020. Kamala Harris won it by just 5 in 2024. We also have neighboring Virginia, another state where Kamala Harris's performance was significantly worse than Joe Biden's. Biden carried Virginia by 10 points. Harris won it by just 5. And finally, we have New Mexico and its 5 electoral votes. And so this will give Kamala Harris 211. She is still 59 away from clinching the presidency. And moving on now to the lean states for J.D. Vance, we'll begin out west with Nevada. This is the only state that Trump won in 2024 that he did not win back in 2016. Nevada hasn't gone Republican since 2004, and this was a big win for Republicans. They won the governorship in 2022. They won the presidency in Nevada in 2024. They will likely also win it again in 2028. And so Nevada will be the first lean state for J.D. Vance. The second one will be the peach state of Georgia, 16 electoral votes, another state that Biden won in 2020, this time by a quarter of a percentage point. It's a state that Democrats hadn't won prior to this since 1992. And so Georgia shifted back.
You think this is Tableau? It might be. Tableau's pretty good. I like Tableau. I like Business BI. And Fabric is good too.
Into the Republican column in 2024, Trump carried it by 2.2. I can certainly see J.D. Vance winning Georgia for a second time. He, of course, won it as vice president in 2024. And so the peach state will be the second lean Republican state for the vice president. And then moving up to the Midwest, I mean, all three of these states like to vote as a pack. The last time that Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania didn't all vote for the same presidential candidate, you would have to go all the way back to 1988 when Michael Dukakis won Wisconsin and lost the other two. Ever since then, all three of these upper Midwestern states has voted for the same presidential candidate in every election since. They all flipped for Trump in 2016. This is how he won the election over Hillary Clinton. They all flipped back for Joe Biden. This is how he defeated Trump. And then in 2024, Trump won all of them back again. Wisconsin by 0.86, Michigan by 1.4, and Pennsylvania by 1.7. Republicans also won the Senate.
Yo, what up, Detroit? Man, you missed the crypto. You missed the crypto segment, bro. We did a Bitcoin crypto segment, but everybody voted in the chat that I should start adding a crypto segment to the news desk. So yeah, give me a couple days. I'm gonna put together a couple good crypto segments, stuff that's newsworthy, let's say. But yeah, yo, shout out to you, Detroit. What up with you, man? Let me see. Irvin says, I wonder if Vance carry those three states. All right, so we got Pennsylvania trending red. They got it pinkish, so it's trending red. Okay, so you're all right. You're a vote for a crypto segment as well. All right, it's a wrap then. All right, that's how we got this segment. Quiet Storm and Kwame Kaiju was like, yeah, do a by the numbers segment. So that's how. All right, so we got two new segments on the news desk in the evenings. We got a crypto segment and we got a by the numbers. All right, we're almost done this. Let's wrap this up and let's see what our final tally and electoral votes are.
Election in Pennsylvania, unseating a Democratic incumbent, and came very, very close in both Wisconsin and Michigan. And so in 2028, I have J.D. Vance winning all three of these states by lean margins, at least 1 to 3 points. Wisconsin will probably be the most competitive, Michigan as well, but Pennsylvania is probably where he'll perform the best. And so J.D. Vance is now at 312 electoral votes, the exact same number that Trump was at following 2024. And Kamala Harris, if she is the nominee again, I do expect her to perform even worse. Generally, when presidential candidates lose and are renominated in the next election, they almost always lose again, and they almost always do even worse. Two big exceptions to this rule are Donald Trump and Grover Cleveland, the two presidents that served non-consecutive terms. And so I can see J.D. Vance expanding the map for Republicans, starting off in Minnesota, 10 electoral votes. Kamala Harris won the state by just 4 points, and this was with Tim Walz as her running mate. Walz was Minnesota's literal governor, and with J.D. Vance's ties to the Midwest, I can see him flipping Minnesota. I can also see him winning New Hampshire, a state that Trump lost by just 2 points against Kamala Harris, losing it by 2.8. In 2016, he actually came within half a percentage point of flipping it against Hillary Clinton. New Hampshire is a relatively purple state. It does have a Democratic lean, but there's no doubt that Republicans can win there if they perform exceptionally well. And the final thing to fill in on this map is Nebraska's 2nd district, which I do have Kamala Harris winning by a very narrow margin. And so this is my updated 2028 electoral map prediction. Vice President J.D. Vance wins with 326 electoral votes against former Vice President Kamala Harris at just 212. Like this video.
Okay, 326 to 212. I'll take that. And these are. I like the watching these doing these predictions and forecasts. And like I said, this is based on current data sets. All of these can change. So I like that we do these by the numbers segments leading up to the midterms as well as the upcoming presidential election in 2028, so that our audience is fairly informed and we got a good idea with great by the numbers. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Where's Quiet Storm's join? Quiet Storm says the news desk is growing week by week. Yes, it is. And once again, you guys got news desk courtesy of Quiet Storm. This is the product of a long 2-hour conversation with me pacing my terrace in Colombia, and Quiet Storm at some undisclosed location around the globe, and we came up with this. So yeah, what do we got here? It says, I hope we live long enough for California to turn red again. I'm talking red senators, red governor, and lifetime boot game of new scum, Bass and Kamala. Did we hear what happened in Texas with regard to the redistricting? Yeah, we did a full segment on that. And possible arrest of congressmen, always a lovely thing. Reed said, early voting is going to be a record breaker. Yeah, it's going to have to be. All right, gentlemen, and one lady, I believe. We're at the 1 hour 46-minute mark. That is my time for this evening. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in on a Monday, late as it is. Depending on where you're at, West Coast may not be that late. I'll be back tomorrow with another news desk segment, and I'll start working on that crypto segment. I want to thank all of you sincerely for helping make this news desk show successful and entertaining. I actually look forward to doing these joints every evening. I was a little nervous at first, just going on by myself. I'm so used to just moderating the panels and to being in the back end making all the production, but took me about 2 weeks, but I warmed up pretty good. Detroit says, somebody talk to your homeboy, man, and tomorrow, man. Saul bodied him a long time ago, man. We you know what I'm saying, and with you know what I mean, that's old work. We even got clip show spoofs of him with we did what did we clip him up with? We clipped him up with what is that? Harlem Nights with our Arsenio Hall. Would he be shooting a little gun? Yeah, that's old. Nameless protagonist in the building. What up, Playboy? He said to the chat and the instructor on the panel, us. Yo, man, pleasure to see you, man. I ain't seen you in a minute. But I don't be on Instagram that much more either. But nameless protagonist in the building. Drop him one of these.
We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. We got more pricey games coming up in the second half of the show. Don't go away, folks. Off by a star.
Yo, what do we got? Great stream the other day, Nameless. All right, cool. All right, guys. 1 hour 49-minute mark. Now, I was saying, man, I want to thank you guys for showing up every evening since we started this this new show. Yeah, This is I look forward to doing these joints now because I'm a big fan of the news anyway. Whoever thought people would tune in to watch somebody review the news, huh? How about that? That being said, man, I will see you guys tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat station. Right about now, I want to say good night and good luck.
Tomorrow's weather happened yesterday, so we're experiencing reverse precipitation. Rain will unfall upward into the clouds starting at 3 p.m.
We're getting reports that local resident Mike Johnson has discovered he's been the same NPC for 3 years, repeating identical conversations with neighbors.
As you can see, we have heavy cat precipitation moving through the Midwest. Expect 3 to 4 inches of tabby cats with scattered Persian showers.
We're seeing a high-pressure system of existential dread moving in from the west, with scattered anxiety showers and a 70% chance of emotional breakdown by evening.
Good evening, I'm Sarah Mitchell. Wait, why are there 2 of us? I think we're experiencing a rendering error.
In tonight's game, gravity was temporarily disabled in the 3rd quarter, resulting in all players floating near the ceiling for approximately 12.
Traffic is backed up on the aerial highway due to a 3-car collision at cloud level 7. We're seeing delays of up to 20 minutes for commuters trying to reach the stratosphere.
And that concludes tonight's completely AI-generated news broadcast. None of this was real.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
Yo, kids, they need to know I'm here to fuck you. I don't wanna know your name, yo, kids, they need to know I'm here to fuck you. Get the fuck on, ain't no shame. I'm here to fuck. 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 Watch this bridge, y'all. I'm here to fuck.
Panel. This country needs stronger border security. Our border security is the strongest in the world.
What we need is to take care of our children.
I can't get an erection. You think giving them amnesty is fair to the people who are already here? They're contributing to the economy.
I've tried all the herbs.
Amnesty is never the answer.
It's
not amnesty. It's recognizing their contributions to our country.
They said to meditate, but I keep falling asleep.
We need stronger vetting.
And to enforce the laws already on the books. I'm terrified of being alone with my wife. It's too much pressure.
Well, nothing's ever going to change if Congress isn't willing to compromise. Exactly my point.
A wall would solve this.
I wake up with an erection, but never when she's in the bed with me.
A wall would solve nothing.
These children have rights.
I spent $3,000 on a sandals vacation thinking that might do it. Know what it was? Me being limp on a lazy river.
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you to Peter Griffin.
No, don't send me home to my wife. Democrats.
Sorry.
Hey, where's Stewie? That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter.
There it is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean, to play us out? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today, and we'll leave you with a... I can't do it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live! I'll write it, and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Stewie Griffin. Thanks for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.